The Shadore Sanders draft saga has become one of the most talked about storylines of this NFL offseason, and it refuses to fade away. First, it was the Baltimore Ravens. Now, word has surfaced that the Philadelphia Eagles were also in the mix for Shedeur, only to be turned down just like Baltimore. The reason? The young quarterback wasn't interested in being a backup. Not to Lamar Jackson. Not to Jalen Hurts. Not to anyone. That decision set off a firestorm. On one side, analysts like Emmanuel Acho blasted Shedeur, accusing him of arrogance and short-sightedness. Acho leaned heavily on the example of Jalen Hurts, pointing out that Hurts himself entered the NFL with little certainty about his future. Drafted to back up Carson Wentz, Hurts eventually took over the starting job and never looked back. To Acho, Shedeur missed an invaluable chance to learn under Hurts, a quarterback who has walked the road from doubt to dominance. If Shedeur is really that good, Acho barked, then go beat out Jalen Hurts. Don't just duck the competition. In his eyes, Sanders' refusal to join the Eagles looked less like a strategic move and more like a product of ego. But not everyone agreed. Former Eagles star LeSean "Shotty" McCoy stepped in to push back hard against Acho's critique. McCoy reminded everyone that Shadore Sanders isn't a normal prospect. He's not a late-round pick fighting for a practice squad slot. He's coming into the league with immense hype, a spotlight bigger than most rookies could ever imagine, and the expectations of a generational name behind him. According to McCoy, that matters. While Hurts had to quietly earn his stripes behind Wentz, Shedeur is under a completely different level of scrutiny. With that kind of pressure, McCoy argued, Shedeur has every right to take control of his career trajectory. Players like me couldn't make those choices, Shady admitted, but Shedeur can, and he should. The debate became a full-blown tug-of-war between two narratives. On one side, analysts accusing Shedeur of running from competition. On the other, defenders saying that this was about confidence, control, and refusing to waste valuable years as a bench warmer. And just when the conversation seemed to reach peak volume, Deion Sanders himself stepped in to silence the noise. Deion didn't just defend his son. He dismantled the very foundation of the argument against him. With trademark bluntness, Deion asked a question nobody on those television panels seemed willing to answer. When, exactly, have superstar quarterbacks ever developed the backups behind them? Peyton Manning didn't groom his successors. Tom Brady didn't spend his years mentoring the next guy. Patrick Mahomes isn't taking reps away from his own preparation to teach a backup the secrets of his craft. In the NFL, development doesn't come from watching someone else. It comes from playing. By the time you get to this league, you better know what you're doing, Deion said. Because if you don't, they'll find somebody else who does. That message cut through the noise. To Deion, the idea that Shedeur should have taken a seat behind Hurts or Jackson wasn't just misguided, was naive. The NFL isn't a training ground for quarterbacks. It's a cutthroat business where you either perform on the field or you don't last. Shedeur's decision wasn't arrogance. It was survival. Why sign up to waste your rookie contract watching from the sidelines when you could be out on the field building your legacy? What's more, Jalen Hurts himself hasn't added fuel to the fire. When rumors about Shedeur's injury status swirled before a preseason game, Hurts didn't pile on or feed the drama. Instead, he showed class and respect. He acknowledged Shedeur's work ethic, praised his grind, and said plainly that he was rooting for the young QB to succeed. There was no bitterness, no shade, no questioning of Shedeur's choices, only recognition of a young man chasing his dream. That quiet show of solidarity spoke volumes, and yet the media hasn't let it go. Figures like Acho continue to frame Shedeur's choices as ego-driven, suggesting that he disrespected veterans like Hurts by declining the opportunity to learn under them. But the reality is much simpler. Shedeur didn't reject the Ravens or the Eagles out of arrogance. He rejected the notion that his future should be defined by waiting in the wings. He wants to compete, to play, and to prove himself now, not later. The more this saga unfolds, the more it becomes clear that the noise isn't about Shedeur's football ability. It's about controlling the narrative. Critics want to paint him as cocky, ungrateful, and reckless. Supporters see him as confident, strategic, and unafraid to take risks. And through it all, Shedeur hasn't backed down. He continues to train, to grind, and to prepare for the moment his opportunity arrives. So here's the real question. Is Shadore Sanders making a mistake by refusing to sit behind franchise quarterbacks, or is he simply refusing to let others dictate his career? Should he have accepted a role as a backup in Philadelphia or Baltimore, hoping for a shot that might never come? Or is carving his own path, on his own terms, the bold move that will one day define his career? One thing's for sure, the spotlight isn't going anywhere. And when Shedeur finally steps onto the field as a starter, the debate will shift from what he could have done to what he's about to do. Until then, the noise will keep coming. But if his father is right and history suggests he often is Shedeur, Sanders won't just survive this controversy. He'll thrive because of it.